One of the reasons that a lot of engineers go in for an MBA is obviously driven by compensation. The engineering plus MBA formula seems to account for a great number of CVs that I have seen on LinkedIn in this regard. Is that the most ideal formula? And is it okay for engineering students to chase an MBA degree only for the sake of increasing their compensation levels?
See, this has always been something that has been debated. But what you need to understand is that, see, they don't get higher compensation because they are engineers. They get higher compensation because as engineers, they happen to have the requisite skill set that is higher in demand by the recruiter. So it's a demand and supply market, right? The recruiters are not paying them more because of their undergraduate degree. The recruiters are paying them more because that undergraduate degree happens to give the skills that the recruiter values. See, an engineering education trains people to think analytically, think logically, and have, better than decent quantitative skills. Now, with the industry now, along with all the technology that has come in, decisions are now numbers based, data based, more than ever before. And the whole reason data analytics has taken off so much is because and become so important for business competitiveness is because there is abundance of data available, and now there is a computing power to do stuff with the data and get actionable insights. So engineers, because of their training, quantitative, analytical, algorithmic, are typically more suited to take on these roles. And as these roles grow in number in industry for post MBA hiring, recruiters are going to look at that combination. So it is the skill combination carried over from the undergraduate degree to the MBA inputs that is making the engineers more in demand, and therefore recruiters are willing to pay top salary. But having said that, it does not mean that a business school should have only engineers, because a lot of learning happens at the peer level, among students, not just the professors and industry practitioners who come in. So a diversified class is good for peer learning. So where you have people from liberal arts as well as the hard sciences or STEM, and the discussions that happen in class, especially in a group discussion or in a role play kind of pedagogical tool, enhances the learning of both the engineers and the liberal arts people because they learn from each other. So class diversity is important, and a lot of good schools strive for that, and they make sure that they get class diversity. But the observation as to why the engineers get paid better is for the reasons I said, because the skill sets happen to match some of the new age jobs which are growing in numbers every year.
Fair point. Professor Kakani, you wanted to comment on that very same question, sir?
Yeah, I think, you see, to do well, one needs to have business acumen, one needs to have strategy acumen, and one also needs to have certain amount of, you can say, other acumen such as financial acumen. Difficult to imagine that an engineer will bring aspects such as these to the table just because he's an engineer and he's gone through a certain set of courses. So, if one essentially has to understand that they want to do well in their careers, then definitely they would like to take up a MBA program which captures some of these aspects. One. Second, I think I would also say that there is nothing wrong in an engineering candidate or anyone else aspiring to have a higher salary, because definitely in a capitalistic world, definitely a good job and a higher paying salary definitely matters, and I would say it makes sense for them also to pursue the same. What I would also like to add is it is not just about diversity in professional identity groups in the classroom, because MBA is more about the experience that you go through. And when we say experience that you go through, you also need to have a fair amount of social identity group diversity also. And that brings a lot to the table. Because if you have people, let's say, largely from a similar kind of social identity group in an engagement, even there also their thought processes will not be able to understand and open themselves to something new. And in that sense, having colleges and having MBA programs wherein there is this element of diversity, wherein you have one or two people from the history, one or two people from the various backgrounds like economics, commerce, etc., immensely helps, and immensely helps the classroom, because when people come with very diverse amount of industry experience, social identity group, and professional identity background also, all of this immensely, you can say, makes things you would agree that the classroom experience of an MBA changes drastically.